There is a possibility something's wrong with my suspension or possibly low air pressure one at a time. I'm going to look up underneath and make sure I see no puddles of coolants, oil leaks, or power steering fluid leaks. I go up, I look at my marker lights. They're properly now secure, not cracked or broken, clean and clear to the proper color. The windshield, properly now secure, no cracks and dings in it more than an inch. It's free and clear of illegal stickers. The only sticker is my inspection sticker, which is current and up to date, matches the registration of my driver's house. But check my wipers, they're properly now secure, not cracked or broken, and firmly pressed against the windshield. I'm gonna come down and look at my turn signal, my four-way flashing light. They're properly now secure, not cracked or broken, clean and clear, and of the proper color. My headlight lenses are properly now secure, not cracked or broken. They're clean and clear and proper working order. I'm gonna check my grill, make sure that it's properly now secure. I'm gonna look inside to make sure there's no debris between my grill and my radiator that will restrict the flow of air to my system. I'm gonna check my bumper. Make sure all the bolts are present, none are loose or missing. It's in proper working order. My license plate, it's properly now secure, it's clean and clear, and it matches the information in my driver's pouch. When it comes to the side of the vehicle, I'm going to do a general overview of it, make sure nothing cracked, nothing broken, everything appears to be in good working order. Check my steps. They're properly now secure. Clean and clear and debris in proper working order. My West Coast and convex mirror brackets, they're properly now secure, they're not cracked or broken. They're in proper working order. I'm going to look at my West Coast mirror and my convex mirror. They're properly now secure, they're not cracked or broken, they're clean and clear, in proper working order. Now I'm going to check the door. My door opens and closes. It's in proper working order. I'm going to check the hinges to make sure they're not cracked or broken. They're in good working order. I'm going to look at my weather strip. Make sure my weather strip is not dry rotted, torn that is missing. It's in proper working order. Now I'm going to go inside the engine compartment. That is the air compressor. The air compressor is properly now secure, not cracked or broken, not leaking any air. The air compressor is belt driven. The belt itself is not torn, it's not frayed, and I can have no more than 3/4 inches of play in my belt. I'm looking at the hose coming off of it. It's properly now secure. No abrasion, bumps, or cuts in it, not leaking any air. Now I'm going to go all the way up and look at my frame. My frame, it's not bent or broken. It's free of any illegal welds. My shock, upper mount and lower mount, are properly now secured to the frame, not cracked or broken. The shock itself is in proper working order. It's not leaking any fluid. Now I'm going to go up and look at my power steering gearbox. It's properly now secured, not cracked or broken, not leaking any fluid. The hoses coming to and fro are properly now secured. No abrasion, bumps, or cuts in them, not leaking any fluid. Connected to my power steering gearbox is my 3-piece steering linkage, my pitman arm, drag link, and steering knuckle, which is properly now secure, not cracked or broken, and they are connected with castle nut and cotter tape. Now I'm going to come up and look at my leaf spring hangers, front and rear. They're properly now secured to the frame, not cracked or broken. My leaf springs are properly now secure. They're not shifted, they're not bent, and if a quarter of that leaf springs is missing, it will put me out of service. The leaf spring is also connected to my front steer axle with U-bolts and a bump stop. The U-bolts and the bump stops are properly now secure. So it's not so I'm being loose. Loose will be indicated by shiny metals on my threads. This is my front steer axle. It's not bent, it's not broken, and it's free of illegal welds. Behind it is the tie rod. The tie rod is properly now secure. It's not bent or broken. It's free of illegal welds, and it's connected to my steering arm with castle nut and cotter tape. Now I'm going to come up and grab my air line to my brake chamber. This air line to my brake chamber. The air line is properly now secure. There's no abrasion, bumps, and cuts in it. Not leaking any air. My brake chamber, it's properly now secure to the bracket. It's not bent, it's not cracked, it's not broken, it's not leaking any air. Behind it is the push rod and slack adjustment. They're properly now secured, not cracked or broken. I check my adjustment. I will chock my wheels, release my brakes. I will pull on my slack adjustment. I can have no more than an inch of play on my push rod. Okay? Connected to the slack adjustment is my S-can. The S-can is properly now secure. It's not cracked or broken. It's a proper working order. The S-can turns and pushes up against my brake shoes and liners. The brake shoes and liners, properly now secure, and none is missing. And I must have at least a 1/4 inch of material in my brake liners. The brake liner pushes up against the brake drum. The drum's not bent, it's not cracked, it's not broken. There's no oil, grease, or contaminants between my brake drum and my brake liner. Then I'm going to look at the rim. Inside rim. It's not bent, it's not broken, it's free of illegal weld. The inside of my tire is properly seated to the rim. There's no cuts, there's no bubbles, there's no abrasion, it's not leaking the air. The top of my tire, because it's a front steer tire, I must have at least 430 seconds to tread that thing. I would check in numerous areas to make sure they're even along. I was also checking between the grids and the three nails and screws. And once again, because it's a front steer tire, it must be a natural virgin radial tire. It can't be a recap or a retread. I'm going to do the outside scan. No cuts, no bubbles, no abrasions, not leaking the air. It's properly seated to the rim. The rim's not cracked or broken. It's free of any illegal weld. My lug nuts are all present and secure. Looseness be indicated by shiny metals or rust streaks. My axle hub seal, properly now secure, not cracked or broken. All the bolts are present, not leaking any fluid. This is my valve stem. It's not bent or broken. It's not leaking in air. Cap is secure. With an air gauge, I will check to make sure I have at least 100 psi air pressure in my tire. This is my intake air system. Properly now secure, not cracked or broken. Inside here is where my air filter is. The mud flap. Properly now secure. It's not dragging. It's on the ground. It's proper working order. That's my power steering reservoir. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked or broken, not leaking any fluid, cap is secure. Okay, now I'm going to look at the front skin of my cargo box. The front skin of my cargo box has no holes, no tears, no intrusions in it. It's in proper work order. I'm looking at my clearance light. It's not cracked or broken. It's clear as a proper color. Looking my way down, I'm going to look at the side skin of my cargo box. There's no holes, there's no tears, there's no intrusions in them. It's good working order. My bottom rail and my top rail, they're properly mounted secure. They're not bent or broken. All the rivets and bolts are in place. Okay? Now I'm going to look at the fuel tank. It's properly mounted secure with these straps. The metal straps have a rubber garment on to keep the metal straps from rubbing against the tank. I'm going to take my cap off. Check to make sure the safety chains is present. Look inside my cap, make sure my gasket is not dry, torn, none is missing. I'm also going to look underneath of my gas tank to make sure it's free of any leaks. Right here is a fuel line going to my gas tank. Properly mounted secure, no brazen bumps touching it, not leaking any fuel. Working my way back, this is my air dryer. The air dryer is properly mounted secure, not cracked or broken, not leaking air. The hose coming off of it, no brazen bumps touching it, they're not leaking air. I'm going to look at my floor supports. They're all present, none are cracked or broken. I'm going to look at my floor, make sure it's free of any holes, tears, or intrusions. This is my exhaust pipe. It's properly mounted secure. I'm going to look inside the seams, make sure it's free and clear of any black soot. Any black soot will be an indication of exhaust leak. Looking my way back, this is where I keep my emergency equipment. I have my 3 rear reflective triangles, I have my 2 wheel chocks, I have toe chain, and I will keep spare fuses in there. Working my way back. This here, my 3-piece drive set. They're not bent or broken, they're properly mounted secure universal joints. The universal joints are not cracked or broken, they're properly greased. Shows no signs of being worn or loose. It connects to my rear differential. It's properly, the rear differential is properly mounted secure, all the bolts are present, it's not leaking any fluid. This is my spring brake chamber. It's properly mounted secure. It's not cracked or broken. It's not leaking any air. The 2 air hoses going to and fro are properly mounted secure, no brazen bumps or cuts in them, not leaking any air. Behind it, once again, I have a push driver and slack adjuster. Both properly mounted secure, not cracked or broken. The slack adjuster pushes up this S-cam. The S-cam is not cracked or broken. The S-cam pushes up to my brake liner and my brake shoes. The brake shoes itself must have at least a 1/4 inch material on it. None is missing. There's no oil, grease, or contaminants between my brake liner and my brake drum. The drum's not bent or broken. It's in proper working order. The inside rim, it's not cracked, it's not damaged, it's free of any illegal weld. The inside skin of my tire is properly seated to that. There's no abrasion, bumps, and cuts in it, not leaking any air. I come to the top of my tire, I'm looking. Because it's a rear tire, I must have at least 230 seconds of tread depth. They must be matching in size. I will check in numerous areas to make sure there's no They're evenly worn. There's no screws and nails in between my tires. They can be a recap or a rear tread, but they must be matching inside. I'm gonna look inside to scan on my rims. My rims are butt rims. The rims themselves are not cracked or broken. They're free of angular welds. My tires are properly seated to it. There's no debris between my tires. Working my way out. I'll do outside skin again. No cuts, no abrasions, no bubbles, not leaking. Properly seated to the rim. Rim's not cracked or broken. It's free of any illegal welds. Once again, the lug nuts are all present and secure. Looseness be indicated by shiny mills or rust streak. This is my axle seal. Properly mounted secure. All the bolts are present. It's not leaking any fluid. Now I'm going to do my mounts to my leaf springs, front and rear. They're properly mounted to the frame. They're not cracked or broken. The leaf springs themselves, they're not shifted, they're not bent, they're not broken. They're in proper working order. The leaf springs are connected to my rear axle with U-bolts. The U-bolts, once again, they're not cracked or broken, they're not loose. Loosely indicated by shiny metals on the threads. I'm looking at my rear axle. The rear axle, it's not bent or broken. It's free of any illegal welds. Working my way back. I'm gonna look at my rear light. Properly not secure, not cracked or broken, of the proper color. In the center of it, there's another light up there. It's properly not secure, not cracked or broken, amber in color. Working my way back. My mud flat. It's properly not secure. It's not dragging on the ground. I'm back here. I'm doing a general overview of this section of the truck. I'm gonna look at my clearance lights in the rear. They're properly not secure. They're not cracked or broken, and of the proper color. Let's get to my door. There's no holes, there's no tears, there's no intrusions in them. We're working with. This is my door handle. This is probably not this working. That's improper working order. Okay. Working our way down. I want to look at my lights. I have a reverse light, brake light, turn signal, and four-way flashers. They're properly now secure. They're not cracked or broken. All of them are the proper color, clean and clear. My license plates, properly now secure. It's clean and clear, and it matches the registration in my driver's tag. My ICC bump, the DOT bump, is properly mounted secure. It's not cracked or broken. It's not hanging. Working my way to this side of the vehicle. We've already done our mud flaps, our wheels. This is my battery box. Inside my battery box contains 3 sealed batteries. This is my air tank. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked or broken. It's not leaking any air. When I talk about this fuel tank, I want to talk about my fuel lines running from that tank. Once again, they're properly mounted secure. There's no abrasion, bumps and cuts in them, not leaking any fuel. Coming over here, that is my starter. The starter is properly mounted secure. The wires going to my starter, they're properly mounted secure. They're not cut and frayed. This is my radiator coolant reservoir. Properly mounted secure, not cracked or broken, not leaking any fluid. Both caps are secure. All the hoses running to or fro are properly mounted secure. No abrasion, bumps or cuts in them, not leaking any fluid. This is my oil fill cap. It's properly mounted secure. This is my oil dipstick. I will pull it out, wipe it off, reinsert it, pull it back out, check to make sure the oil is above the fill level. This is my alternator. It's properly mounted secure. It is belt driven. The belts are not torn, they're not frayed. I can have no more than 3/4 inches of play in my belt. The alternator casing is not cracked or broken. It's in good working order. These are my wires to my alternator. They're properly mounted secure. They're not cut or frayed. They're in proper working order. This bottom hose here, coming from my radiator going to my water pump. It's properly mounted secure. No abrasion, bumps or cuts in them. Not leaking any fluid. That completes the 3 trips of this vehicle.